What's up, everybody? Welcome into a fresh, quick, and easy Keepin' It Breezy episode featuring the second-ranked Arizona Wildcats trip to Boulder to take on the Buffaloes. Let's break this game down. The vibes were high at Boulder for this one. It was senior night, another 9 p.m. local tip-off, way too late, but everybody was ready to go for this one. Colorado started out hot, took a 36-25 lead with just over 4 minutes remaining. We were all thinking big upset here, but Arizona, we know they're calm, cool, collected. They made a big run to finish the first half to close that deficit. Bunch of lead changes in the first 10 minutes of that second half, real back and forth, but then the size, the skill of Arizona started to overwhelm Colorado. Arizona in this game shot 56% from the floor and scored 54 points in the paint to lead the Wildcats to a solid victory over Colorado, 89-79. I'm going to start with Arizona here first because they're the only reason the boys and I were in the gym Saturday night. They finished the regular season 29-2 overall, 16-2 in the tough Big 12. Those 29 wins are the most in a regular season in program history. And guess what? This was also their first ever Big 12 championship in program history, and they won it by 2 games. They absolutely wiped the floor, had a field day with the Big 12 awards. I'm going to get to the players here in a second. But first, I got to give a shout out to Tommy Lloyd, named the Big 12 Coach of the Year. He owns the most wins ever by a Division I head coach through their first 5 seasons. Arizona, they've been top 3 along with Duke and Michigan for what seems like months in all the rankings and metrics. Arizona is going to be a popular pick to cut down the nets in April. The first Wildcat I got to bring up tonight is Koa Pete, a 6'8", 235-pound freshman. The game plan was to feed this big dog early. He had 12 points in about the first 7 minutes. Was going smooth. He's a prototypical power forward, got an NBA body, super aggressive, has a nose for the ball, nice soft touch on his jumper. He's a potential top 10 pick. I can see him going in the top 10 easily here come June. Versus Colorado in this game, he had 25 points on 12 of 15 shooting, only missed 3 shots. Only 3 boards, 4 assists, but very efficient from Koa Pete here. On the season, Pete is averaging 14 points, 5.5 boards, 2.5 assists, and shooting 55% from the floor. He was named to the Big 12 All-Freshman team and the All-Big 12 third team. The point guard for the Wildcats is Jaden Bradley, a 6'3", 200-pound senior. He's steady, poised, in control of both sides of the floor, good two-way player. He spent his freshman year at Alabama with Brandon Miller. They were the number 1 overall seed that year. Now he's been in Tucson for 3 years. He's the leader for Tommy Lloyd in this group. In this game against Colorado, surprisingly, he only took 3 shots and missed them all. Chipped in 4 boards and 6 assists, but definitely a down game here for Bradley. On the season, he's averaging 13.5 points, 3.5 boards, and 4.5 assists. He was named to the Big 12 All-Defensive Team, and Jaden Bradley was named the Big 12 Player of the Year. No, not A.J. DeBonsa, not Joshua Jefferson, not Darren Peterson if you want to throw him in the conversation, but Jaden Bradley, your Big 12 Player of the Year. Big man in the middle for Arizona is Mo Krivas, a 7'2", 260-pound junior from Lithuania. Now we think about these Lithuanian bigs in the league. I think of Domantas Sabonis, Jonas Valanciunas. Mo Krivas, he's got a body and a playing style like those fellas. He can finish through contact, yet he's got a soft jump hook. But really, Mo Krivas, he's one of the best defensive interior presences in the whole nation. Benga Dak, my favorite Buffalo, he had nothing for Big Mo on Saturday night. Krivas had Benga twisted up like a frickin' pretzel. In this game against Colorado, Krivas had 10 points, 7 boards, and 3 big blocks. On the season, he's averaging 11 points, 8 boards, and almost 2 blocks a game, shooting 59% from the floor. Krivas was added to the Big 12 All-Defensive Team and First Team All-Big 12. The fifth option in this loaded Arizona lineup is going to be the freshman from Germany, Ivan Karchenkov. He's 6'7", 220 pounds. He's athletic, tough, a good wing defender. In this game against Colorado, he was just playing his role. He had 10 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. On the season, Karchenkov's averaging 10 points, 4 boards, 2.5 assists. He's that wing defender that you might need to shut somebody down in March. Now I've rattled off 4 Arizona Wildcats, but I haven't gotten to my star of the show, my big dog of the day for Arizona, Colorado. I'm going to Braden Burries, a 6'4", 205-pound freshman. He's actually the leading scorer for this Arizona Wildcat team, averaging 16 a game. He can really fill it up. He's shifty, got a real sweet-looking stroke, and I'm impressed with his size, how he can finish through contact at the rim. He's definitely a first-round pick. I think he can play his way up into that lottery here in March. In this game versus Colorado, he had a career-high 31 points, 9 of 16 shooting from the field, and 11 of 12 from the line. He added 7 boards and 5 steals, playing both sides of the floor. This was Burry's 11th 20-point game this season. That's the most by an Arizona freshman since Big DeAndre Ayton had 17. Braden Burries on the season, averaging 16 points, 5 boards, and 2.5 assists, shooting 50% from the floor. He was named to the Big 12 All-Freshman team and First Team All-Big 12. Arizona has a great 8-man rotation, bringing 3 guys off the bench. The 6th man is the senior Toby Awaka. He's freaking built like a bull, y'all. Maybe strongest guy in the nation in college basketball pound for pound. Started last year for this team, but goes to the bench this season to make room for Koa Pete. In this game against Colorado, Toby Awaka had 10 points and 7 boards. On the season, off the bench, Awaka's averaging 9.6 points and 9.5 rebounds, shooting 59% from the floor. He was named to the All Big 12 Honorable Mention team, and he was the Big 12 Sixth Man of the Year. And he better be the National Sixth Man of the Year. The other 2 Wildcats off the bench are going to be senior Anthony DeLorso. He also started for this team last season. He had to move to the bench to make room for Burries and Karchenkov. He can shoot it, handle it a little bit in the backcourt, and also Dwayne Aristote, a freshman, good body on the wing, can shoot it a bit. I can see all 5 of these starters playing in the NBA, and these other 3 guys would start for most teams in the nation. Looking at the Buffaloes of Colorado now, they finished their season at 17-15 overall, 7-11 in the tough Big 12. They got a young team this year, solid freshman class. Hope those guys can stick together, but it is improvement from last year. Buffaloes were 3-17, last in the Big 12 last season in their first year back in the league. Bangot Dak, the longest buff in Boulder, everybody's favorite Buffalo. I hope he returns for his senior season. You know, we don't have many guys, especially at the power conference level, that are sticking at the same school for all 4 years. That could be you, Bangot, if you come back to Boulder next year. Bangot finishes the season averaging 11.5 points, 6.5 boards, and 1.6 blocks per game, shooting 49% from the floor. One more Buffalo I've got to bring up tonight is the freshman Isaiah Johnson. Now, he only started 14 games this season. Head coach Tad Boyle, he brought him along a little slowly, in my opinion. Here's some highlights of Isaiah Johnson against Kansas because he filled it up that night, and he definitely filled it up against Arizona. He had 28 points in this game to go along with 3 boards and 5 assists. On the season, Isaiah Johnson's averaging 17 points, 3 boards, and 3 assists, shooting 49% from the floor, 82% from the line, and 39% from deep. Isaiah Johnson's dad is prominent NBA trainer Chris Johnson. He's well known for his work with LeBron, D. Wade, Tyrese Maxey. D. Wade is actually Isaiah Johnson's godfather. I want to see this guy back in Boulder next year and see what he can do with a full season starting. To wrap up this Keepin' It Breezy, let's close the book on Colorado's season. The Buffaloes, they're done. They lost yesterday in the first round of the Big 12 tournament to Oklahoma State, 92-83. Colorado's all-time winningest head coach, Tad Boyle, has announced that he will return for another season. I'm happy to see that. I hope he can keep this freshman squad together and grow with Isaiah Johnson and Bangad Dak back in the picture. In my opinion, Arizona has a 1 seed locked up now, no matter what happens in the Big 12 tournament. They could lose their first game, I'm still going to give them a 1. Let's look at a couple team stats here for the Wildcats. Arizona, they're 14th in the nation in scoring, 13th in the nation in field goal percentage, 9th in free throw makes per game, 2nd in rebounds per game, and 7th in field goal percentage defense. All top notch there. They check all the boxes for me to win the national championship in Indianapolis. They have the NBA talent. They have the senior leadership in the backcourt. They have the interior presence, and in this case, they have multiple interior presences. They had the athletes on the wing, and they got the head coach who knows what the hell's going on. The X's and O's, Tommy Lloyd, the longtime Gonzaga assistant, happy for his success. But I'm going to be hesitant to pick the Arizona Wildcats as my national champion once the brackets come out in a couple days, and I'll tell you why. Now, I'm not a guy who wants to live and die by the three, just chuck from deep. I want to establish the inside first, and that's what Arizona does, so you have to respect that. But you also have to make some threes. Arizona on the season made just 5.8 threes per game. For reference, that was 340th in the nation. Now, can their interior scoring, efficiency, defense make up for the lack of three-point shooting? Yeah, I think it can. I think Arizona can cut down the nets in Indy. But I don't think I'm going to be picking them because we just don't see teams win at all who ignore the three-point line like this. Awesome night game in Boulder where Arizona takes down the Buffs 89-79. Thanks for watching.